Hare I have the bhajan here. So if everybody can see, so we're going to sing. You want to play harmonium? See, I don't know if you can make it. This is for Advaita Acarya. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acarya Dayama Jara Hokare Gora Avatar Jaya Jaya Advaita Acarya Dayama Jara Hokare Gora Avatar Premagata Sita Nata Karuna Sagar Jara Premara Rase Jai Gaura Sundar Premagata Sita Nata Adite Jai Premadese Se Jana Chaitanya Guna Tahara Charane Deva Loila Saram Se Jana Pailo Gora Prema Mohadam Tahara Charane Deva Loila Saram Se Jana Paila Prema Mohadam Emanada Yara Nidhi Kenena Bhajilo Lochan Bale Nijamate Bajara Parilo Emanada Yara Nidhi Kenena Bhajilo Lochan Bale Nijamate Bajara Parilo Jaya Jaya Gora Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayama Jahu Kare Gora Avatara Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayama Hare Gora Avatara Premadata Sitana Karuna Sagar Jara Premara Se Aya Gora Sundar Premadata Sitana Karuna Sagar Jara Premara Se Aya Gauranga Jahara Karuna Kori Kripadite Jai Prema Besi Seja Chaitanya Gunagai Jahara Karuna Prema Besi Seja Chaitanya Gunagai Tahara Charane Deva Loila Saran Se Jana Paila Gora Prema Mahadam Tahara Charane Deva Loila Saran Se Jana Paila Gora Prema Emanada Aranidhi Kenena Bhajelo Lochan Bale Nijamate Bajara Parilo Emanada Aranidhi Kenena Bhajelo Lochan Bale Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Advaita Gosai Jaya, Advaita Gosai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You have the translation and you can read. Louder.
To the preceptor Advaita, full of mercy, whose pealing roar invoked the avatar for Giver of Prema, Lord of Sita, ocean of compassion, Prema Rasa, broad bars of wrath. Whoever receives his mercy, on whom he bestows his kind glance, that blesses one, becomes immersed in Prema and sing the divine excellences of God. Whoever sought refuge at his feet, that same acquired the greatest wealth of Gora Prema. Lochana says, why did I not adore such a repository of bounding grace? By that I brought a thunderbolt upon my own head.
Do you feel it or you just saying? If you feel it, you'll get Krishna. So tomorrow is the holy, auspicious appearance day of Sri Advaita Acarya. Advaita Acarya. You heard his name. Yeah? Who is he? One of the Panchatattva. That's good. That's good. At least you already took a big step. One of the Panchatattva. So we are going to invoke the mercy of Guru Gauranga and then we'll begin. Try to answer those questions that we put it out before we go pastimes. So please join together. O Bande Aham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupa Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitamsya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatadeshatari Panchakalpataruvescha Kipasindhupaye Pacha Patitanam Pavanibho Vaishnavebho Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. You can put it on a galaxy so you can see the face of the devotees who are there. Gives inspiration. You know how you put zoom in the galaxy?
Nobody puts the camera on. The old camera off.
In Galaxy, you can see the name. I just gave 2 classes this morning. Okay. You see the 96 devotees, 48 devotees. You can see some of the names. So, first of all, our beautiful this season festival began, and first day is today. Sripad Advaita Acarya Prabhu's. So to understand his Advaita Acarya Prabhu's Tattva and Leela and Rasa, we're going to discuss one by one. First of all, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for 2 reasons. One is internal for himself, one is external for everybody else, for the world. So internal, we'll discuss as we approach, as we approach, Gaur Purnima. As we approach Gaur Purnima, we will discuss more. And next week, we will discuss Nityananda Prabhu. So we'll just today discuss just Advaita Prabhu, and then slowly we'll discuss the purpose. But the main thing is that Supreme Absolute Truth, not to Supreme Absolute Truth only, the embodiment of Rasabdim, preserver of all transcendental condensed form of bliss, appear in this Kali Yuga for 2 purposes. One is internal for himself, one is external for everybody. So internal has a 3 reasons. First is 2 reasons, then each one has a 3 reasons. So esoteric and exoteric. You know, esoteric means confidential for him. And exoteric means external for the world, in relation to the world, in relation to us, like this. So in relation to us, he has a desire to distribute this Braja Prem. This is 1. To establish Yuga Dharma. 2. And respond to Advaita Acharya's call. You got it? 3 external reasons. An internal reason that we'll discuss as we approach Gaur Purnima, because itself is so vast. And today we don't have much time. So Advaita Acharyas, there were a few questions. First of all, I want to say, Srila Prabhupada, before he came to the West, he used to go to Advaita Acharya's house. And the Pujari remembers there used to be a Grihastha comes and sit in a corner, like Vladimir is sitting in a corner. So there was one Grihastha comes and sit in a corner and would chant very attentively and sometimes cry. So Pujari noticed, but he's doing puja, he's busy. And then he noticed that same devotee comes once in a while and sit in the same spot. Then for a while, he did not come. After some time, one day the Pujari saw a sannyasi sitting in the same spot. And also has a sincere attention, more chanting and crying also. So he went nearby and he conversed. You know who he is? Our Prabhupada. So Prabhupada used to go to Advaita Acharya's place and then they had a conversation. Beautiful conversation. It's in the beautiful book of Srila Prabhupada. And Pujari asked, why you are crying? He said, I got a A beautiful instruction of my spiritual master is a heavy task, that to go to the West and preach to the English medium audience. Is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. So then, this Pujari, of course, he was praying for Prabhupada, and also he gave blessing. So it was very nice. After many years back, he never saw, or he didn't know whether he went or not. After many years, decades, he saw some Western devotee came to that Santipur, and they gave the same Pujari a magazine, Back to Godhead. And in the back of the Back to Godhead, Srila Prabhupada's picture. And he says, oh, who is this? I know him, I know him. So that's how the whole conversation took place. That he recalled the pastimes of Prabhupada when he was a Grihastha. He used to go to Santipur or Advaita Acharya's house. I don't know if any one of you went there. We used to go every year. Now it's a big festival. I think last year or year before, last year they didn't do. Year before was planned for 35,000 people to Prashadam, 35,000 on 3 days festival. It was beautiful. Every year from Mayapur, devotee goes there. So Prabhupada gives a few stories that how he was so much into Advaita Acharya's life and teachings that he used to even participate in a play. And you know, when you do this spiritual play, you want to see how the audience get affected. So one time Prabhupada was acting as Advaita Acharya. But when he play is over, he noticed nobody clapped. So then Prabhupada came nearby, outside this stage, to see why nobody is clapping. He thought it was a very good play. And then he noticed. And then Prabhupada saw, oh my God, the audience, so many people are crying. Then Prabhupada felt, okay, that was good, very good. Clapping is okay, but crying is better for Advaita Acharya. So Prabhupada played the role of Advaita Acharya. That's very nice. This is a first question came, I forgot the questions, but anyway, first question I think came that Mahavishnu and Sadasiva, how they combined together came as Advaita Acharya. So this is, if you go to Mayapur, there's a place called Hari Hara Shkatra. Can you say it? Hari Hara Shkatra. Hari Hara Shkatra. Very good. Hari means Krishna, Vishnu here, the Mahavishnu, and Hara means Shiva. So the news came that Supreme Lord Krishna is coming down to distribute love of Godhead. When the news came, Mahavishnu went so ecstasy, and Shiva started dancing, Mahavishnu started dancing, and in ecstasy feeling they embraced so tightly each other. Out of joy, ecstasy, a new beautiful form came out. That is Advaita Acharya. That's why he is a combination of both. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 6, the whole chapter is all about the importance of devotional service established by Advaita Acharya, especially. And there, the first verse it says, Mahavishnu Jagat Karta Maya Sijattada Tashyavataram Evayam Advaita Acharya Ishara. The Lord Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Mahavishnu, whose main function is to create the cosmic world through the action of Maya. And then Advaitam Harina Advaitam Acharya Bhakti Shamsana Bhaktavataram Isham Tam Advaita Acharam Ashraye. very sweet. Because he is non-different from Hari. So he is Advaita. Dvaita means two. Advaita means one. Not one. No dualism. Because it could have says one Eka, but it says Advaita. Dvaita means two, means not two, one. Means non-dualism. Means him and Supreme Lord are one. Then Acharya Bhakti Sansana. Acharya, because he has established and distributed bhakti, that's why he is known as Acharya. So Advaita Acharya. Why Advaita Acharya? He is one with God. Also he preaches bhakti. Everybody will remember why Advaita Acharya? Advaita means he is one with God, and Acharya means he distributed Krishna Prem. He also experiencing. He is giving what he is experiencing, not that he is telling somebody and he is doing something else. So this is very nice. Nice. Apune Purusha Vishya Nimitta Karan Advaita Rupe Upadan Narayan Nimittang Se Kare Tehu Maya Teksham Upadan Advaita Karen Brahmanda Srijan. So it's giving the explanation how Advaita Acharya is in charge of this material world. He created through Maya. He is also the master of the ingredients, everything together. And there is a whole philosophy gives this explanation that I have explained. That Bhakta Avatara Acharya Advaita Jasi Sadashiva. He is also Sadashiva. Sadashiv means Vishnu. Cool. Sadashiv doesn't mean Shiva. It is Shiva, but Vishnu's another form. Krishna has another name called Shiva. Shivadam Trapatrayana Unmulanam. So Shiva also, original name of Shiva is Vishnu, Krishna. So I'm going to jump because there's so many tattvas. If you are interested to hear all these slokas, interesting. I'm going to just go. Can Advaita Acharya, who is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and Shiva, give Krishna Prem of Golok Vrindavan? Yes or no? As a Mahavishnu, as a Sadasiva, no. But as a combination, the Advaita Acharya form came, who is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Mahaprabhu is like a big trunk. You saw that picture of a big trunk, tree, desire tree. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the gardener. Who is the gardener? And who is the seed of that tree? Madhavendra Puri. You have to remember those. It's not a big deal. Just remember those. Who is the seed of the Prema tree? Madhavendra Puri. Just simple thing, remember. And who is the big trunk? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is the water gardener? Also Mahaprabhu. Who are the branches? Main branches are two. And then there is sub branches. Unlimited. Main two branches are Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. This is how Chaitanya Charitamrita explained. Okay? So, as long the branches are connected with the tree, when you water the tree, you'll get the water. Yes? Now, if one branch got cut off from the main trunk, will that branch get water? This is a key point and technical. If the branch cut off from the main trunk, will it survive? No. Very good. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's main two branch are Advaita Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Yes, Advaita Prabhu can give Braja Prem because they are same connection. They are branch of Mahaprabhu. But if somebody follows but do not accept the philosophy as it is given, they will cut off. means they will not get nourished. If a branch cut off from a tree, you can water the tree, but the branch that cut off will never get it. Everybody got it, right? Good. Now, what was that they did not get? The sum of, I'm just blending in because of the time also. It's almost like half an hour gone quick. This is a very interesting that when we think of, can you imagine you are child of God and God has unlimited opulence, but the main opulence is beauty, the prayer, love, but you are deprived. How is possible you can be deprived? How possible? Huh? Not possible, but it happened. You have to think why it is possible. We can be deprived also if we don't understand these topics.
Lack of association.
Very good. Or not accepting that as it is. For an example, if your father is a billionaire, in order to inherit the $1 billion, what the one thing you have to do? Wait, what?
What the child has to do to keep connections, keep constant connections, keep the relationships.
And stay alive. No, if he's dead, he's no one can. No, this is a literary. You follow? These are real technical, because this is a crucial point. Advaita Acarya has 6 sons. 3 sons got it. 3 sons did not get it. What caused them not to get it? Because they deviated. How they deviated? What is that deviation took place? They took the identity, respect, and the path in a wrong way. Your father may be rich, but if he didn't sign the check, if you go to the bank, they won't cash it. Will they? So you have to have the full mercy of Advaita Acharya in order to get the rightful inheritance through him. You follow? You have to be legitimate member. In order to be legitimate member, you have to have a complete understanding. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that Jagai Madai also read Shastra. When Jagai Madai read Shastra, you know what they used to read every day? They would read who did what horrible things. And they check their own heart. Oh, we didn't murder this kind of. We should do today. Okay. Then they stop the scripture. They would read the same scripture we are reading. They would stop and they would go outside and do it. Then next day they will read again Shastra. Now, are they reading Shastra? Yes and no. Which one?
Understanding the meaning of it.
The purpose of the Shastra is 3 things. Revive our dormant relationship with Lord and do bhakti and get love of God. If these 3 things are not served, then your reading or understanding of Shastra is not useful. Everybody understood? What is the purpose of reading any scriptures? Mahaprabhu says, Bhagavan Sambandha Bhakti Avidehaya Prema Prayojan Veda Tino Vastu Paya. Tino Vastu, 3 things. Mahaprabhu says, from the Shastra you will get. That if you read any book, if you don't get your relationship with Krishna and you don't understand the ultimate goal through that scriptures or discussion and how to develop a strong sadhana to get it, if you don't get these 3 things, then your purpose of reading Shastra or hearing Shastra is not useful. wasted time. So this is very important. The purpose is not only reading Shastra, it's what is the purpose behind reading or serving Shastra. So what was that some of the Advaita Acharya some son did not get, that they missed this opportunity. They came up with the idea that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Louder. Huh?
What do you mean?
What?
Krishna and Radha together.
Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, in the mood of Radha, with the mood of Radha and the Bhakanti and the color are together is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to be very clear. But if you think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is only Radharani and Advaita Acharya is Krishna, how do you feel? Huh?
Confused.
Thank you. This is a wrong conception. To worship Nityananda with the Narayan mantra, all this they created a hodgepodge. And as a result, it's not that Advaita Acharya did not know. He gave the warning, but they did not listen. They don't want to listen. One of our ISKCON leader did not want to follow the traditional of eating meat and all these things from the parents. He joined to Hare Krishna and he became a dedicated, he's a big leader. So he told me, the parents left 67 cents. They're millionaire. They left 67 cents for him. And for every children, they gave the money. We can use the same idea. Why parents didn't give? They're millionaire. Why they didn't give any money for this Maharaj? Because what they thought, the son should be, it's not up to their standard. They didn't want their son to become a Bhagavan, or what do you call, mendicant or something like that. So they didn't. Similarly, Advaita Acharya's three sons did not take the process as it is. As a result, even though they are son of God, deprived. So this is very important. Did Advaita Acharya, any temple you go, even in Mayapur, you'll see Advaita Acharya has a beard. That was another question. Advaita Prabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a young Nava Jovan. That is true. Young man. God, I'm sure you read Krishna book. I'm sure you read Chaitanya Charitamrita. If not, please read. Srila Prabhupada repeated Sanatana Goswami Pad's Mahaprabhu's discussion. Mahaprabhu repeated that after Krishna appear a particular age, Mother Gandharvika, after particular age, Krishna never grows bigger. What age is that? 16. Very good. 16. After 16, can you remember what age? After 16, Krishna never goes. Even though he lived 125 years, but he's always 16. And I can tell you many pastimes where this story took place. Even Mother Rukmini, she was cooking. She knows every time her husband goes out, he comes back with a new wife. This is expected. And she's the head of the queen. And one day she saw Krishna is coming with a new wife. And she's like, wow, so beautiful. Krishna looks so handsome, young. But then all of a sudden her breast milk started coming. Breast milk does not come for a husband. Breast milk comes in a spiritual conception we must understand. Breast milk comes for child. So then she was bewildered. But then when Krishna came nearby, Krishna touched the feet of Rukmini and then she, who are you? She said, I'm Pradyumna, who was kidnapped when he was a baby. You know that pastime. So this was exactly 16 years Krishna. Pradyumna was kidnapped and came back. But that time Krishna's age was 50 years old. Follow? Even Krishna 50 years old or million years old, he never looks more than 16, period. Can you remember that? Many pastimes like this. Krishna never ever age more than 16.
Why 16?
You have to ask Krishna why he choose Vrindavan, why he likes village life, why he likes simple country life, because it's the highest pleasure.
So 16 is the best age.
16 is the best age. You are not completely mature. You are like very attractive, but you are like not completely understanding everything what's going on. It's such an attractive age. And he never became Jovan. He became Nava Jovan, means he's becoming young. He did not become young. He's becoming young. You know that age, you see some child, you expect some mischievous. Yeah, it's not yet grown up. He will get it when he grows. Krishna never grown up. Such an attractive age. But when you meet Krishna, you ask him why he created that way. So Advaita Prabhu is God. He is eternally also 16 years. He is not growing old. Mahavishnu and Sadasiva combined. So, and the details are given, but I'm going to describe here. The Srimad Bhagavatam, those who are listening online, Srimad Bhagavatam 10.55.26 to 29 tells that Dwarka Krishna still appeared so young that his wife mistook his son Pradyumna for him, as the story I mentioned to you. Because somebody may ask the reference, you can always look at it. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, however, there is a beautiful sloka. Madhya chapter 16. Tarje garje acharya darite diyahat puri kruti karaya nache santi puranat. This is the verse, the proof. Tarje garje acharya darite diyahat puri kruti karaya nache santi puranat. Advaita Acharya was so overwhelmed with a surge of ecstasy, he began to dance and running his finger through his flowing beard. Now, the word dari, not necessarily beard, it's a chin, you know, this part. This is chin. Generally, when you are so happy, you like, you're going like this, sometimes he touches cheek like this. So you can translate as beard or you can translate as chin. You know, chin, this part, the bone. So Advaita Acharya was overwhelmed with surge of ecstasy and began to dance, running his finger through his flowing beard and raising his voice as loud as thunder. His eyebrows were drawn together in a frown. Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Lila 16.99. Very nice. Now, Bengali dictionary, I was consulting with Bengali dictionary. Bengali dictionary says the word dari means both beard and chin. So this verse says that Advaita Prabhu held his chin during the dance. Not necessarily is the beard. You follow? Because their beard is also them. Like your hair is not you. If you cut your hair or your nail, you know, that nail, you put it outside and somebody smash it, shoot a gun, you don't have any feeling to that. Because you have no connection. It's lost. Once it's shaved, it's lost. The hair has no connection with your feeling. There's a duality. In other words, separate from you. But Krishna's hair is Krishna. Krishna's nail is Krishna. It's not like his nail is separate from him. You follow? We have to understand that this is very clear. But Srila Prabhupada gave a solution. He said Advaita Acharya, he was 52 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu appeared, Advaita Acharya was how old?
52.
Very good. Everybody is alert, not falling asleep. So, 52 years old. Then in Panchatattva, to give a look that who is older than other, you draw some beard. But it's not that he has a beard or he had beard or, and the gray, they purposely they put it just to identify that he is the oldest amongst Panchatattva.
Even though he stayed 16.
Yes. Just to give, because he's 52 years old when Mahaprabhu born.
But he didn't look it necessarily.
Correct. But just to identify that he is the oldest amongst all Panchatattva. So this beard looking, but it's not like a God is getting old, because it's a long time. No, God is never get old. This is a bogus idea. There's a book called Advaita Prakash. Anyway, that's not a part of the question, so we don't have to write. It's not authentic because many reasons are given here, but I don't think anybody asked that question. If they ask, they can always call me and let me know. Why did Advaita Acharya Prabhu preach Jnana? As Nimai Pandit grew, he used to show Advaita Acharya great respect. But Advaita Acharya could not tolerate it. He said, I know that you are not an ordinary person. You are the supreme personality of Godhead from Golok. Still, in the worldly sense, you are younger than me. This is Advaita Acharya saying, and you show me respect. Why Advaita Acharya is showing respect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Everybody together with me. Why Advaita Acharya is showing respect to Mahaprabhu? Okay, 3 ways you have to remember all the spiritual subject matter. First is Tattva. Who is the origin of all God? Is God transformed, become someone, and then he loses that, come back? What? What is God understanding? You really have to remember. Always think, God, Supreme God is Nirvika. Nirvika means he never becomes someone. Never. God is God, eternally God. He never became someone, he never becoming someone, or he never going to become someone. God is eternally God, period. You follow? So when you say God is 1 year old, now Mother Leah is 1 year old baby, she became 2 years. What happened to her 1 year? She was 1 year, now she's 2 years. What happened to 1 year? Doesn't exist. But when Krishna is 1 year and he's 2 years, what happened to his 1 year? It's eternally there. To our eyes, it just appears like he is growing. No, it's every moment that form is eternally there. It does not become. There is no transformation. Everybody got it? No transformation in God, period, eternally, is Nirvika. But Nirvika doesn't mean no variety. You follow? It does not do karma like us. That doesn't mean he is inactive. He is self-satisfied. He is completely satisfied. Doesn't mean he is inactive. You follow? Just because I am so happy, I'm completely satisfied, doesn't mean I don't do anything. God is still active because he reciprocates the love with the devotees. Yes?
Can I just clarify? So then when he just appeared and when he was, in Dwarka, for example, he appeared to be different age to those around him. But you're saying he didn't actually grow? So did he just manifest different forms?
Correct. Those are eternal forms. And if somebody needs some reference, I can quote you some verses. In Bhavishya Purana, there is a beautiful verse there. Ballapi Bhagavan Krishna Kaisharam Rupam Ashrita Pallavi means he's just taking birth, baby, in Mother Yashoda's womb. But Koisharam Rupa Ashrita, Jatra Radhika Bihare, that he is playing with Radharani, same time he's taking birth in Yashoda's. What do you understand?
Time is not continuing.
Correct. He has unlimited form, but not transforming the form. It's not like, I am now, if I am going to be 55, I lost the 54. Not like that. Krishna is not like this. Everybody got it, right?
There is no universe where he's like 18 or nowhere.
No.
Doesn't exist.
Not Krishna never grows ever more than 16.
Even in some universes.
Even somebody says, why he is originally in village, not in a city? So Prabhupada says he is a person, he has a preference. He wants to be in the village country life, that's a supreme person.
But so when he's in Dwarka, though, those around him, his wives, they perceive him to be older than 16.
Correct.
Right?
Because they have a relationship. When you have a relationship, you don't see that he's never transformed. You think, oh, he's growing. Every gopi mother, they check his wrist and body. Is he gaining strong? Brahmaji was shocked. What is talking? What they're doing? They're testing the God's body. If he's growing muscle, this is not. But that's how God wants to reciprocate. Who are you to tell him what he should do, what he should not do? You follow? And those gopi mother enjoying that, yes, Krishna is becoming strong. Let's feed him more. You have to grow more. You have to be strong more. Krishna says, yes, I will. But in Tattva-gata, there is no such thing. In Leela-gata, yes. In Leela, internal potency, Sita Thakurani, Advaita Acharya's wife, Mother Swati, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother, Vishnu Priya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wife, they are all same. One potency. In Tattva. Everybody understood? But in Leela, pastimes, do not ever think they are one. You will commit offense.
They're different incarnations of the same.
No, you don't even say. Eternally, Vishnu Priya is his wife. It's not like she is a wife, but now she's now mother. No, this is a completely hodgepodge. His mother is eternally mother. His wife is eternally wife. But in Leela, they are all same potency in that sense that nothing to do with the material potency or conditioned soul potency.
You mean in Tattva?
Correct. In Tattva, they are one means they are not like marginal or external energy. They are internal energy. But for Leela, each potency has a particular relation with particular form that is eternally there. Mother Yashoda will never act like Radharani, and Radharani will never act like Mother. Everybody got it? That is eternal relationship. Each devotee, not only them, each one. Okay. So, back to here, that Advaita Acharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh Krishna. Time is going by very fast. And you can read this Madhya Leela chapter 19, 124. Bhakti java prabhave Advaita Mahabal Bujilen chitte mor hoibe ka safal. I'm going to just summarize in a sense that Mahaprabhu is trying to always respect Advaita Acharya because in a Leela, not Tattva. In Tattva, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the origin of all. You follow? From that angle, Advaita Acharya is thinking, he is my origin. I must bow down. He is my origin. So it is natural for him to think like this in Tattva. But in Leela, Mahaprabhu is thinking opposite. Oh no. Advaita Acharya, he took initiation from Madhavendra Puri. My guru also initiated by Madhavendra Puri. So he is like my guru. I must touch him. Opposite. So they have some kind of a how do you say? Yeah, it becomes like touchy reciprocation. Like they want to touch each other's feet. And it becomes very tense. So when Mahaprabhu does not give up this, then Advaita Acharya thought, I have to take blessing from him. What am I going to do? I'm going to say that bhakti is less important than gyan. Gyan is higher. So he started preaching this. And the news came to Chaitanya Nimai Pandit. His name was Nimai Pandit those days. And Nimai Pandit got so angry, he took Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu. They swim. They went to Dari Sannasi's place and then they went to Santipur. And he heard it. He went nearby and Advaita Acharya said, bhakti is so difficult to get to approach God. But Jnana, you can say, okay, I know this, then I can get it easy. Mahaprabhu got so angry and he started. And Advaita Acharya started jumping, happy. Oh, now you're beating me, now you're hitting me. And Nityananda Prabhu just laughing, what is going on between these two? Haridas Thakur is puzzled, why they are doing like this? Very strange. Then Advaita Acharya's wife says, don't kill this old man, please. Who is Advaita Acharya's wife? Sita Thakurani. She's a Jogomaya, very important. She's one of the big Sankirtan beginner amongst the Matajis. She was the first. Actually, she started before even others. Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu were discussing and she was at the door. She said, I can do that. We can start Sankirtan. This is the purpose you have come. I'm going to start. So the conversation said, how are you going to start? Then she said, I'm going to invite all the neighbors and we'll do just like we're doing here. And we'll chant, discuss the philosophy, take prasadam and kirtan. That's it. This is very important that Bhakti Vikas Maharaj's book on Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav explained this. Worshipping Krishna without Radha is incomplete and imperfect. You follow? Worshipping Krishna without Radha. Chanting Hari name without philosophy understanding is like this. Very interesting. Do you understand? Worshipping Krishna without Radha, what is? Incomplete and imperfect. Similarly, chanting Hare Krishna, we're doing Japa Kirtan is good, but it's not complete unless you hear about the quality and glory of the Lord. Because Kirtan means glory, Kirti, the verbal root Sanskrit, Kirti, glorifying. Not just uttering some name. It's glorifying. It's good, but it's not good enough unless you hear about it. Okay, so this is in a shorter version, it's long. Just to tell you a very funny story. The Advaita Acharya, when he was a small boy and nobody knows his supreme God. So Brahmana, those days in India, that part of India, was ruled by the Brahmana. You know what is Brahmanas, right? They are like a they are like a top on the society of division by the jati, the caste, and by the ashram, sannyasis are higher or top. So like this, Brahmanas are top. But Advaita Acharya was not well known yet. He's just a young boy. He had a beautiful eye. So they used to call him Kamalaksha. His eyes were so beautiful. It says that, you know, the Lord Shiva in this, in our Lord Shiva that came living where they live, you know where the Shiva Loka is here? Where? Huh? Yeah, you know where? It's called Kailash, but it's not Kailash of Maheshgam. There's another Kailash. This is the guest house of Kubera, the treasurer of heaven. His name is Kubera. In his big palace, there is a guest house. Guest house is not like a little room. Guest house is like itself is like a village. I mean, itself is like a big, it's a garden and everything. And he invited Lord Shiva to live there. That is also called Koilas Dham. So the reciprocation between Kubera, the treasurer, you know Kubera, you want to become a Kubera of heaven? Do you know the qualification to become Kubera? I'm just thinking, should I go? Oh, 7:30 is already late. Okay, just in a short, just very short. One time, one king from this earthly planet needed some help because there is a drought. Nothing is growing here in the whole earth. So he's very worried. So he was guided. Atmani said, you go and meet the Kubera, ask him to give you some help with the wealth. So he went there, and there in the heaven, the treasury house, huge gate. And he arrived there. He is the earthly king. And he asked the guard and everything. So I came here. I want to meet the Kubera. I need some help because earth has a drought, big disaster for years. Humans are dying because no food, nothing growing. So he said, okay, you can go to see his office. So he went all the way. He's not there. So where is he? He's in the front. So I came from the front. So he went, and there's thousands and thousands of all assistants doing their service. He could not find Kubera. At one point they say, where is he? He said, he's in the front. Oh, you see it. But he could not find. He asked another person. He said, right there. What he's doing, he's picking the grain that fell on the ground. Very savings mentality. Very pakka in the accounting, not stealing anything. If somebody is dedicated like that, then he is qualified to become a treasurer of heaven. Well, today's discussion is not for promoting that, but just to it. So that's Kubera. And then when Shiva came to his abode, so their reciprocation was so nice. Shiva said to one time, he said, you are like my parents. You take care of me so much. Everything you provide. I don't do anything. You're giving everything. Of course, he is the Lord of this universe. Then Kubera said, well, that's my duty. You are my Lord. He said, but I feel like I want to take, come in your life as like a child, and you become your child. He said, whatever you want, my Lord. So that is also Advaita Acarya came. His father is Kubera Pandit. He actually was a treasurer of heaven in one expansion. And his mother is Navadevi. So he was not very well known to the Brahmanas. So if you go to Bengal till today, the biggest festival they have, like in America, you have a Christmas. What they have in Bengal? Durga Puja, Kali Puja. This is the biggest, more than Janmashtami or others. Of course, now it's changing because of ISKCON's Namhatto. My God, they're like growing everywhere. Everybody speaking up, devotees. It's wonderful. I was surprised how Calcutta is saturated with the groups of devotees everywhere. It's such a joyful, in my time I could not even see. Nobody was interested. They're interested in Durga Puja. So I thank those preachers, such a wonderful preaching they have done. So they are, and Advaita Acharya is there with his father, Kubera, and they're doing big Durga Puja. So everybody, when they come, first thing they do, just like we go to temple, we bow down. Don't think of pandemic, just think of normal, without pandemic. When you go to temple, what do? You just immediately bow down, is it? To the temple, to the deity, to Prabhupada. So everybody is bowing down, but when Advaita Acharya, he was not Advaita Acharya, he was a Kamalaksha, young boy. He came, he's not bowing down to the deity, he's looking like a little young boy looking at the deity. And the other Pandit, because he's so attractive and a handsome boy, everybody is watching him, but they find some fault. They want to talk about it. So they found some fault to talk now. They say, it's interesting. He's a great Pandit, but his son is not paying obeisances to Durga. This is not good. He should train his child, that when he come to temple, he should bow. So they started gossiping and he heard it. So his father said, can you just pay obeisances? Everybody's watching. He said, no. Shh, don't say that. He said, no, I'm not going to. And he loudly said, I'm not going to pay obeisances to my maid servant. It's God, Durga. So they kind of embarrassed father. And then all the pandit, all the scholar, they come in. It is not nice to speak like this in the temple. And you must bow down. Everybody must bow down. So when they pressured his father said, my dear son, please do it for me. Please, please. He said, no, she is he loudly spoke. She is my maid servant. I am her master. Master don't pay respect to his maid servant. The immediate mouth like, don't ever say like this. You don't think God is your maid servant. She's the mother of the universe. Of course, they didn't listen. They just force. Finally, okay, watch out. When I pay obeisances, what happened? And he did pay obeisances. Durga deity burst out. She can't take it. She is a maid servant of him. He's a Mahavishnu. But who knows? But nobody knew. So when this happened, from that day, that moment, all the Brahmana always stopped. What was that? Who is this boy? We never saw ever a deity burst out, like literally crack and turn into pieces. So Advaita Acharya, from that moment, slowly, he earned a way out to become the head of the Brahmanas. You follow? And we'll discuss next week how this influence and later on Mahaprabhu's appearing. Oh my God, this time is passing. Am I missing another question? Let me see. Was there any other question? Advaita Prabhu's family, eggplant. Okay, I'll finish with this. Eggplant. What's the big deal about the eggplant? Well, Advaita Prabhu offered, because it says in Hari Bhakti Vilas 3 times that you do not offer eggplant to Vishnu. That is true. But Advaita Prabhu offered eggplant to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he invited him to eat. It says here, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 3, text 47. Komala Nimbu Patra Sahabhaji Bhartaki. Bharataki means he offered, Advaita Acharya offered the Lord soft neem leaves. You know neem leaves, like bitter neem leaves, along with fried eggplant. It's a big deal, because in the Facebook one guy said, no, it is not possible. Nobody offer eggplant to the Vishnu, because Hari Bhakti Vilas says nobody. Then somebody says, hey, wait, don't say like this. Advaita Acharya offered to Lord Chaitanya. They said, you making it up. Well, here's the proof. I'm again saying, Madhya Lila 3.47. You look at it, and it says Bhartaki means, I know I'm a Bengali too. I know what is that means. Now here another says, Komala Nimba Patra Sahabhaji Bhartaki Patula Pulla Baris Bhaji Kusmanda Manchaki. So Srila Prabhupada translate that Advaita Acharya, he offered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eggplant fried. You ever had prasadam, fried eggplant? Very tasty. Okay. This will be my last one. I'm sorry, I think. And then I don't think there is the other question. There's many pastimes, but this is a discussion about, what was the discussion? One God. No. God, Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses all the opulences, but he has a 300 rupees debts. That doesn't make sense, does it? Well, you have a Chaitanya Charitamrita in your database. You look at it. Adilila 12.29. It begins. When Kamalakanta Vishwas was in Jagannath Puri, he sent a note through someone to Maharaj Pratap. No one knew of that note, but someone, somehow or other, it's a very mystic, the way very nice. somehow or other, it reached in the hand of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That note established Advaita Acharya as an incarnation of Supreme God. এই পাত্রিতে লেখা আছে এই তো লিখন ঈশ্বরেতে আচার্যের করিয়া আছে স্থাপন. It's a very simple Bengali. I mean, it's not that simple, but it's a very sophisticated Bengali. Established Advaita Acharya as a God. কিন্তু তার দৈব কিছু হইয়াছে ঋণ, ঋণী সুদিবারে চাহি তাঙ্ক সততি. Now, if Ildar is sitting in his truck and he just found out a big Lamborghini came and in the kangaroo gas station, I mean, it's possible. And Bill Gates is inside. He was once upon a time, he was the richest man in the world. Something like that. And he's asking, he's knocking his window. He said, you know, I don't have any money. Can I borrow you $20 from me? Who are you? I'm Bill Gates. Well, how are you going to pay me back? I don't know, you will ask him that. But can it possible happen?
I mean, if he doesn't have this wallet.
Just doesn't have a cash.
Okay. So you think the Supreme Lord who possesses everything, all the universe, he has a 300 rupees debt? No, this is bogus. I'm just testing, just to see. That's why, but the third line I put it. Would you help to pay for this? Just to see. It was very funny, I won't say the name. I was putting that in a question a couple years back. And the multi-millionaire, one devotee, I won't say the name. I said, would anybody like to help to pay the debts? Sure, Prabhu, I would help too. I said, who are you going to help? The God who possesses all the wealth, including your wealth? Whose money are you going to give to who? If God owns everything, how you are separated from him? You follow the logic. So, but the idea of God needs 300 rupees, I will give 300 rupees. Arey Baba, if he's God, why he needs 300 rupees debt? Doesn't make sense. But I'm going to read the purport. Srila Prabhupada put. Those who are listening, if you want to hear it, this is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya chapter 12. Sorry, Adi Lila chapter 12. And this is the purport. To describe a man as an incarnation of God or Narayan, at the same time present him as a poverty-stricken, is contradictory. See how Prabhupada put it? Very nice. And it is the greatest offense. Did you see how Prabhupada write? It is the greatest offense if you say God owns everything, but he needs $300 because he doesn't have money. This is an offense, contradictory. The Mayavadi philosopher engaged in the missionary work of spoiling the Vedic culture by preaching that everyone is God, describing poverty-stricken man as Daridra Narayan, poor Narayan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accepted such foolish and unauthorized idea. But it has to take place so we can learn. He strictly warned, Mayavadi bhasya sunile hoy sarvanas. Anyone who follows the principle of Mayavad philosophy is certainly doomed. Such fool needs to be reformed by punishment. So this is a wonderful. I think the rest of the purport you can read, and there are a few other purport also. I'll stop here unless you have some reflection, some question, comment, anybody. Hare Krishna, those who are joining, if you have any question or comment or reflection, you can say.
Haribol Prabhu.
Haribol.
Pranam Prabhu.
Gopal Radhe Prabhu. Dandavad.
Prabhuji, class, thank you so much about Advaita Acharya. I had a question. Other day, one devotee was reciting some pastimes about Advaita Acharya, and he said sometimes Mahaprabhu used to refer to Advaita Acharya as Nara. Is that true?
Nara.
Yeah. What does that stand for?
Nara has a few meaning. It depends where in Chaitanya Bhagavat says. One Nara means who lies down on causal ocean, Narayan or Mahavishnu, you can say. Another Nara is Mahaprabhu quoted, there is a verse, Suya achinu shira samudra bhitare moro nidra bhanga hoilo narar hunkar. Means when Advaita Acharya saw the deplorable condition in Navadvip, they like party. They are not interested to chant and become devotee. Seeing this, he met the four brothers, Srivas Thakur and his brother, and they are crying. At night they would cry, and during the daytime they would go and preach. But nobody want to chant or do anything. But they're big scholars, so they're depressed. That time, when Advaita Acharya came there and he saw these four brothers are crying, he said, "What is the matter?" So then they had a conversation. That was the day Haridas Thakur pick up. From that day, he said, "I'm going to start chanting 192 rounds." Now, how many rounds he was chanting before, we don't know. But there is a record that he pick up that vow. So I'm going to start chanting 3 lakhs from today. And Advaita Acharya felt very pain in his heart. These four brothers are suffering because nobody was interested to become devotee. So then he took a vow. See if I can remember by Krishna's grace. Karaimu Krishna Sarva Nayana Gochar, Taveta Advaita Nam Krishna Rakingpa. Yes. Karaimu Sarva Nayana Gochar. Karaimu Krishna Sarva Nayana Gochar. That I will bring down Krishna and made him visible to all his living beings. Then my name will be successful as a servant of Krishna. And if not, I'll destroy this universe. So when he took that vow, it says that Mahaprabhu was lying down very nicely, relaxing in the milk ocean. All of a sudden he saw the whole bed is shaking. And he just, wait, don't break the universe, I'm coming. So he took a vow. So because he shook him, his name is Nara. Nara in Bengali means shaking. Can you imagine you are the boss? You are sleeping and somebody woke you up because somebody going to burn down your factory. How do you feel? You're going to still sleep? Probably not. Yeah, that's called shaking, Nara. So that's how the reference given, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other, or we close? We're already late.
Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Yes,
From New Orleans. No, break the news.
Is
Special.
very wonderful class. We all were relishing. Actually, you mentioned the festival of Advaita Acharya's appearance at Shantipur still is there. Actually, I had a fortune to join that festival. So I saw like Advaita Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and Mahaprabhu. These 3 Prabhus actually lay down that place. Still, the sign is there in Shantipur. So since Advaita Acharya is a Mahavishnu himself, so sometimes people are asking also, I have that same question. Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He left, but he disappeared from this world. And Nityananda Prabhu also, I heard. So what about Advaita Acharya? When he left this world, he left with this eternal body. He didn't left anything, or how he left this world. Because people want to want to see the God disappear with his eternal body, you know. So what is your?
Well, it's clearly explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Krishna, Krishna. কোথা যাব কি বাক্য নাহি স্ফুরে মহাপ্রভু হারাইনু গোপীনাথের ঘরে. Yeah, this is the verse. It says in that they were so depressed, and Gadadhar Prabhu expressed this, that Mahaprabhu entered into the body of Gopinath. Nityananda Prabhu also entered into the body of Pankarai. He entered also Shamsundar deity in Kharda before, but not at the end. This was, can you imagine? Well, I don't want to go today because there's a beautiful pastime of Nityananda Prabhu that even though he got married, his first wife, and then while they are serving the prasadam, seeing the sister of the wife, in Vedic culture, when you have a veil, sometimes veil came off, so she extended two other hands to cover them. And Nityananda Prabhu was saying, oh, she has a four hands, she must be Lakshmi. So he also married her. But after 2 days, he was in a great separation feeling. It's difficult to understand those kind of intense separations. So he entered into the deity's body to be with Mahaprabhu. It's very difficult for us to understand like this. So Advaita Acharya, he was 1434 to 1486 Mahaprabhu appeared, so 52 years old. And then he disappeared in 1559 at the age of 125 years, Prabhu. He disappeared just like this, with his body disappeared. Those bodies are Satchidananda. They are not, but the way they disappear, it's up to them, how they want to. That Balaram, he had to go. So from his mouth, he took one white snake. White snake came, and then he ride on that snake, went to spiritual world. It's like a mystical, we cannot understand like how. Because this is transcendental pastime. There's a reason they play this role. So Advaita Acharya also disappeared in 1559 at the age of 125 years old. These are all documented. If something is not documented, we don't take. But this is documented. Thank you, Prabhu. This is a wonderful question and discussion. So we'll end here unless some more discussion or reflection. You have something, Vladimir? All are convinced? Okay. Let's chant for 1 minute. And then we'll Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Gurudev